Apologize for what was uploaded earlier. I had it's actually an 18-minute video, and somehow it cut off, and I didn't know that until I always rewatch my videos just to kind of critique myself and figure out what I can do better. And I guess I could include the other 14 minutes will be by improvement for this one. So this is my re-uploaded version of that 4-minute video piece. So I apologize for that, and we'll see you later. And by the way, happy news, the laptop that was away for repair, I just got an email before I recorded this that it is on its way back. So it should be here maybe Tuesday. So I might be able to slip in a pen review by Wednesday. We'll see. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Well, hello. You might notice something different. The audio. The reason the audio is down is because I am without a computer right now. The computer I have always used to record these videos with this document camera is off for repairs. Now, I borrowed a computer. It's sitting over here where you can't see it. It's a Windows machine, if that means anything to you. And it's evil. My plan, because it does run the software that runs this camera. So I had this really cool plan of, well, I'll record on that. And, you know, I may not be up to my normal standards, but hey, no. And I use this microphone along with that computer, or I'm sorry, along with that software. So while I can use the document camera to teach, apparently I can't use it to record video, which is good to know, because I was actually going to film some physics videos, a lot of physics videos actually this summer using that computer, because it's my classroom computer. And I guess I'm using my own personal computer this summer. Now I know. I was going to try and keep the school and personal things separate, but yeah, there we go. Alright, so a couple of things coming up. First, I'm holding here a book. It's called Prairie School. It's by Lois Lenski. This is a book that was written in 1951. I have brought this book up before, but I didn't know its title. When I was a little kid, first grade, I had my tonsils out. At the time, the doctors thought it was tonsils, not allergies. And so I was home for a week or two. I don't really remember how long, but I was home while I healed. And so some of the neighbors felt sorry for me, and they sent me a little care package. Now, this is the early 80s, so it's before VCRs and all that. So it was like little games and books and stuff. And this was one of the books in there. Now, trouble was, I've never been able to remember the name of the book, and I've never been able to find it. Turns out because I was searching for the wrong thing. So this book actually takes place in South Dakota, not North Dakota. Okay. But anyway, it takes place in South Dakota, in a town, near a town called McLaughlin, which is in Corson County. Now, if the document camera were not crashing the computer, I would zoom in. There's a nice map of South Dakota in here that shows you where Corson County is. And it shows the rail through Corson County, and you can trace it right up to where I live, which is up in this corner of North Dakota. But you can't see it because that computer crashes when I use this camera to record video. So you're just going to have to trust me. But anyway, it takes place not exactly in McLaughlin. It's kind of a rural community north of it. Now, what's interesting, the author, Lois Lenski, lived in Florida in the 1940s and 50s. She'd actually written a book called Strawberry Girl. It was about a little girl growing up in Florida in an agricultural setting. Anyways, apparently this teacher at this one-room school would read these books by Lois Lenski to her students, and just wanted to write to her to tell her how wonderful that was. And, oh, by the way, here's a little bit about my life. And, you know, so she wrote to her through the blizzards of '49, which you probably don't remember unless you're a lot older than me. But they were quite something. It involved the National Guard dropping hay to feed the cattle and things. And anyway, and yeah, this winter gave me a small appreciation for what they went through. But As you would probably know, winters aren't what they used to be, thanks to climate change. And those are some pretty extreme storms anyway. So, but anyways, so Lois Lenski decided to go visit the school, which she did. And she actually got to experience her own blizzard and the isolation. Because this area at that time was really, really backward compared to the rest of the country. There were people living without electricity at that time. It was not the cute 1950s that you see in the movies. It was poverty, living, barely scratching by. And she expresses all those realities in this book. She also expresses the realities of some of the racism, because McLaughlin is on part of the Fort Yates Indian Reservation. It's actually very early on in the book they address that. The father is renting land from some of the Native Americans and doesn't want to pay them. And the mother is like, oh gosh, we got to do something for him, and very uncomfortable right away. And she tackles several realities. She tackles what poverty means. She tackles kind of this father and how he's bringing up his son to be just like him, to not value learning. And it's interesting, at the end, the teacher actually encourages the daughter, get out. You don't have to, there's more to life than this. You can be more. So very interesting for a book written in 1951. She does not idealize rural America. So good for her. So thank you. I don't know if you can tell, but I really do mean it. It means a lot to me that I found this book. So thank you. Now, I was going to show you a couple other things with the document camera, which is not working. Thank you, computer. Everything else is working. This here is an attachment for my document camera. This is a magnifying lens. I actually got some really good magnification with it. I was looking at a couple of things at school, because I bought it. I am a science teacher after all. I bought it partly for my classroom, partly for these videos. So you may be seeing this make an appearance. Let's see, what else here? I've been looking for a new black ink. These here, these are Nemosine word cards. They're no longer sold here in the United States. I don't know why. But I've done my ink samples on them for a few years. And luckily I have one or two more of these left before I run out. And then I'll have to think up something new. But, I usually put the name of the ink, the pen, which is always a glass pen, which is a review I'll be doing one of these days. And then the date. I don't know why I put the date, but I do. And then I do a swatch of the ink. And it's kind of fun. I have a whole bunch of black inks now. I ordered a bunch of black inks because I'm trying to get a different black ink. Interestingly, Noodler's Black is still back in the front, so who knows? Maybe go back to it. But it is very interesting to look through this at some of the inks that are in here. And yeah, so I have two of these more than filled, because it's supposed to be just 100 cards in each one. And then one that's partly filled, and then I have a few more blank ones yet. So yeah, that's something I do. If I do my video on black inks, I will probably take advantage of those cards rather than do a writing sample of every single one, because boring! Let's see. Chris Rapp, 52, sent me this a long time ago. This is a little Clairefontaine notebook. I use it. It's where I keep track of what ink I put in which pen, which actually has been interesting, because then I can look back and see how it looked in that pen. I'm past the halfway mark. Luckily, Larry Baronet sent me, I think it was a Life notebook. Anyway, another mini notebook, so I can continue on with this. I've been doing my, I've been doing my writing samples when I do pen reviews in this Apica CD notebook. Not necessarily my Actually, it is really nice paper, but not daily use type paper. It's too nice. Sorry I dropped a notebook. I gotta fix it. It's gonna bother me that it's laying there. Okay. I've been doing my pens in use in this Bomo art note journal. Hungarian, very nice. Almost too nice. But I love the paper. I love how it looks. So, I don't know. I've got another one over there with Sea Life I'll be using next. But awesome stuff. I brought this guy home. I was going to do a close-up of him and do some kind of noise for him. Or something like that. Because he opens his mouth. I even thought about like tying fishing line and opening his mouth. This guy is a preview of coming attractions. You might have noticed Fig Boot on Pens just uploaded his video of the Game of Thrones Monte Grappa special edition. He did the House Targaryen. Well, I don't have that. But this guy is a clue to what I do have. And let's just say don't expect a Monte Grappa Game of Thrones special edition pen. But do expect something a little cooler than just your run-of-the-mill pen that I normally review. And it is related to the dragon. And yes, it really is a dragon, and he really does flap his wings. I had him out today in my physical science class because I was talking about bats, because I was trying to explain how the motion detectors work with sonar. So I had him up pretending to be a bat, because I don't have a toy bat. So, yeah. Oh, and he's useful in anatomy because his wings are ball and socket joints. So, pretty cool. I like this. There's a store in my town that has a whole set of dragons. I've only bought this guy, but they have several more. They also have a whole bunch of dinosaurs. I've bought the Velociraptor and the Triceratops so far. Yes, that's the science teacher side of me coming out. Sorry, deal with it. Okay, on other news, this pen renovation, I'm only holding up the one piece, the cap, has run into an interesting snag. The snag is this inner cap fell out of the outer cap. I don't honestly know what I'm going to do with it and how to reattach it or how it was attached originally. So that brought that restoration to a screeching halt. On the plus side, for this majestic pen and pencil, I'm only holding the pencil, I did purchase some polish and stuff, which is going to be necessary to bring it back to its former glory. Good stuff. And what else is exciting? I've been on that pen buying, sort of on that pen buying hiatus, but I bought a bunch of samples that are over there. And actually, one or two pens did creep into my collection despite the hiatus. This one would have been reviewed this week, actually. This is, except I can't get that computer to work with this document camera, so what's the point? This here is a Schneider ID. I bought it for about $20, but it writes surprisingly well. That'll be an interesting one to review. I'm on probably my third or fourth fill with that, actually. Yes, I've been hiding it from Pens in Use. This Nemesine Singularity is another one I was going to review real soon. I inked it up with De Atramentis Albergine, or Albergine, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I should look that up. Thinking that'll be a fun review, because I like eggplant. You've seen this pen in a review before. It's a Sailor with a Fude nib. I put a sample of Robert Oster Bondi Beach Blue in it because of the sheen, and yeah, it's kind of cool. So that'll be making an appearance someday. Actually, I may have purchased a bottle. Sailor. I have a Sailor pen now. So, let's see, anything else exciting? Oh, yeah! I was going to film a rodeo this week, but I guess I'm going to clean out the pen instead. I was going to film a daily writer rodeo. When the laptop comes back, I'll film it. So, next week, what you have to look forward to is a whole lot of nothing. There will be no pen review next week. Driving video, yes. Those are already uploaded. No pen reviews, because when I decided to borrow this computer, I figured I could. No. So, yeah, just all the timing worked out wrong. So, yeah, there are no pen review this coming week. If you get something, it's because I've worked out a temporary solution. I have some footage where I walked around Rapid City after the debacle with the laptop, so I may upload that. The footage is ready, and let's see what else. Well, I have driving video footage on a card, so maybe I'll see if I can throw a video together with it. I don't know. Just, I have kind of a random trip I took out into the country south of town. So maybe I'll upload that and talk about something instead. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll go grocery shopping with the iPad again. I'm just kind of let down that this computer isn't cooperating with the document camera, because I kind of pinned my hopes on that. But, nothing wrong with taking a week or two off from reviews. I've been trying not to do that, but looks like it's going to happen. Anything else exciting laying around here? Oh! I only have one version of it over here. I've been kind of looking at the Feynman lectures on physics. This is Richard Feynman did a bunch of physics talks. I actually found some of them online also, and books were made out of them. I've been kind of looking through them for ideas for this physics video. This is not exactly a readable book. I try, but it's interesting. I'll tell you that. And I've had some comments recently about, let me move over and get out of the way here. I've had some comments recently about this and some questions. One gentleman emailed me actually and asked about, where is it? Calculus Made Easy. And he said, well, if the topic needs to be made easy, maybe there's a problem there. And I've had some requests to take a look around this bookshelf. I will just tell you that is not the only bookshelf in my house. There may be two more over there, two in my bedroom. There may be some books stacked randomly around where I'm pretending I got rid of them, but I didn't. I kind of like books. So, yeah, I may have to talk about that one of these days. But actually, you know what? Come to think of it, this might be a good time for that. The iPad actually does have a version of iMovie. If I'm intelligent about how I film and don't have to do too much editing, because I have tried playing with it before, perhaps I can put something together with the iPad. So, something for me to think about in the next week or so till I get my laptop back. So don't expect a pen review next week. Do expect a driving video this weekend. In fact, I'm going to start on the journey to Bismarck this weekend. Don't expect a pens in use video next week, but if this works out and you actually see this, I may try something. Probably not a pens in use, but a something. And when the laptop comes back, I will celebrate. So until then, I thank you for watching. It really does mean a lot to me, all of you who told me the name of this book. And it means a lot to me that I have regular viewers who come to this channel, who watch these videos, sometimes even these random talking videos, and comment on them and like or dislike. I get those too. Interesting, lately some of my students have discovered I do these videos. They've discovered my YouTube channel. They think they're boring, but you know what? If you think they're boring, don't watch them. That's what I do with boring videos. So anyway, I thank you for watching, and when the laptop gets back, I'll be back in gear. So until then, bye-bye.